The information in this video is provided for informational and educational purposes only.
Welcome to Dose of DeAnn, where you'll get a little shot of what my life is like living with SMA. If you've followed me for any amount of time, you know that I love my Jaco Robotic arm. It was just in the shop for a few days. I broke a finger. And even though I had a loaner, I really appreciated getting mine back. If you guys are on the fence about getting a Jaco Robotic arm, I thought today I would go over 3 reasons why I love the Jaco Robotic arm and 3 of the things I'm not quite so crazy about. And maybe it'll help you decide if it's something that you want to pursue. The first thing that I love about the Jaco Robotic arm is I don't have to worry anymore where people put things. I don't know about you, but I have a pen that I like, usually an accessible spot, but when it's accessible for me, that means it's accessible for everybody else. And sometimes it gets used and put out of reach. Well, with the Jaco Robotic arm, that doesn't matter because I usually can access it no matter where it is. Same with lights. If they get left on or off, I can turn them on or off accordingly. So it's something that I don't have to worry about and I don't have to be on top of because really that gets annoying sometimes. Another thing that I love about the Jaco Robotic arm is that I don't have to plan out my entire day. I don't have to plan what I'm drinking at 5 o'clock at noon because that's when somebody is here. If I'm thirsty, I can open the fridge and grab something to drink, and I can choose what I want. So those are 2 things that I love about it. The third thing is that it gives me peace of mind. I don't have to worry about my door opener not working because not only do I have my Jaco Robotic arm, I have my service dog. So I have a backup for a backup. And that just gives me peace of mind and lets me go about my day without having to worry about that kind of thing. So those are 3 of the things that I love about the Jaco Robotic arm. Something that I'm not quite crazy about is that it's a little bit big and bulky. I've gotten used to it on my wheelchair, but it isn't the most precise when you're reaching something, so I need a little more space. In my world, I've created it so I have a lot of things close together because it's easier for me to access. However, with the Jaco Robotic arm, things need to be spaced out and spread out. And so I have to be cognizant of that and kind of rearrange my space. And I have done that, and it does work fairly well. Another thing that's a little difficult is that the precision isn't wonderful. I've found that, for example, pressing the buttons on the microwave, it's easier for me to use a long spoon or something to press it myself because it takes too long and I'm not exactly as precise as I need to be. So some things I still do the manual way and some things I can do with the Jaco, but it can be a little bit tricky. Another thing is that it's kind of time consuming. Sometimes it's so much easier to ask someone to do it when it takes them 5 seconds, when you know even with a Jaco it'll take you 5 minutes. I'm trying to get better and quicker about using it, but sometimes it just does take a little bit long. So with practice, I know I'll be quicker at it, and when I do it myself, I can save those asks for something more important. So I try and do what I can on my own with the Jaco, but sometimes it's still just a little bit easier to ask someone to help. So those are some of the things that I'm not as crazy about the Jaco. And sometimes the maneuvering can be a little bit tricky. But overall, it is something that I love. Here in Minnesota, the weather has finally straightened around. So, I am headed outside. If I can get my cap on, that is. We will work on that. Sometimes, like I said, maneuvering is a little bit tricky. So, we will see if I can get my hat on. It's always harder to do when you have an audience, too, right? Ta-da! So I'm going to head outside. If you guys have things that I missed that you love about the Jaco Robotic arm, or things that you're not crazy about, I'd love to hear about it. Either leave a comment below or head on over to the forums at smanewstoday.com/forums and we'll talk about it. But that's all I have for you today. We'll talk again soon. Bye for now.